Hello guys, good evening and welcome to part 3 of the Football Manager Rewind, where I've gone back to FM12 and I'm going to play a season or two until the FM16 beta comes out. Now before we get into the recent fixtures, we've got one transfer that we've brought in to sign on January the 2nd and he's cost me 1.2 million. That player is Lucas Digne, currently of PSG on loan at Roma in real life, 18 years old, signed from Lille in France, the under-19 team. He's played 6 games, 7.12 average, but for 1.2 million I think he could be a steal at that age. He could be cover and back up to David Santon. His crossing is pretty good, his pace is something we should look to use, acceleration is also something we can exploit. He's got a lot of decent mental attributes for an 18-year-old. He could really become something big in terms of replacing Santos in the future, if not forcing him out of the first team and becoming that regular spot. But for just now, when he signs in January, he will be back up and cover and is much better than the current backup left back, which is Paul Dummett, who we will look to shift out in January. So here is the current squad we have, which is doing quite well just now. Hatem Ben Arfa we've just welcomed back from an injury spell and he's currently taking interest from PSG, so we'll hopefully don't lose him anytime soon. Yohan Cabaye has also just got injured for a month, which is bad news, but also gives Alan Jagoev a chance to come into the squad and stake his claim for a place long term in that central midfield alongside Cheick Tiote. So Yohan Cabaye has been quite influential, so it's a disappointing injury we've got to him. Playing in all games, in all competitions so far, he's made 10 appearances in total in competitive games, scoring 5 goals, getting 2 assists and 1 man a match with a 7.48 average. So Alan Jagoev is really going to have to step up if he's to replace him in terms of that 1 month that Yohan Cabaye will be out injured. A huge part of Yohan Cabaye's game is obviously his passing. Now 277 attempts and a 79% percentage pass success rate, which is 221 passes out of that 277 in the 10 games played so far, is really good and a massive important part of his game, and hopefully we'll get a lot of assists from that when he comes back from injury. So we're still currently sticking with the flat 4-4-2, which has done quite well for us this season so far, but Papi Cisse is yet to really step up into that role, so he really needs to up his game. In terms of January, when it comes round and selling players, Dan Gosling, Rob Elliott, Shane Ferguson, Paul Dummett, Braden Mint, Gabriel Louboutin, Sami Amiobi are currently on the transfer list, and I will look to get rid of them. Probably Danny Guthrie will go on there also, and the rest will probably keep and hope to bring in 1 or 2. As you can see, Danny Simpson is wanted. The youngster, the hotshot Adam Campbell, is also wanted by Manchester United, but we already knew that in terms of the last episode where I showed you we turned down a 1.5 million on deadline day from Sir Alex Ferguson because we hope to make Adam Campbell a vital part of the squad in years to come. So this was the game after the Norwich game that we left you at last time, where we beat QPR 4-1 in a game that was largely dominated by us. As you can see, 19 shots to 4, 11 on target. They were not really involved in the game. They did manage to get it back to 1-1 before we turned on the attacking style. Got a second goal from Yohan Cabaye, a goal from Papi Cisse, his first for the club, Demba wrapping it up where Djibril Cisse did pull it back initially, but it wasn't for long. 11 minutes in total. We managed to see out the game quite convincingly, 4-1 at home to Queen's Park Rangers. Bear in mind, this was at the time that Queen's Park Rangers had just spent a lot of money bringing in the likes of Joey Barton. As you can see, he got a yellow card on his return to St James's Park. So then it was next up League Cup action in the third round at home to Everton, which was a very tough and close, tightly affair, and a game that we did win 2-1 after going down 1-0, and I honestly didn't see us coming to win this game, but Demba pulled back on the hour after John Hydinka had put Everton 1-0 ahead. It went to extra time, and thankfully before the dreaded penalties, Sylvain Marveau popped up in the 114th minute to see us win in a game that could have went either way. We progressed to the 4th round of the Cup, where we play Bolton Wanderers. So we face a trip to Villa Park next, and what Aston Villa have been my bogey team on Football Manager down the years. We drew 1-1, a goal from Charles Nzogbe, the former Newcastle United player, in a game that was even, split right down the middle. A lot of yellow cards in the game, a feisty affair with 7 cards in total. Yohan Cabaye again got another goal, a vital part of our squad, and it's really disappointing that he's out injured for a month now, but hopefully, as I said, Alan Jagoev can step into that role and take a hold of the games like he does. 1-1 at Villa Park, not a bad result, but a result that we take, and a draw away from home, undefeated away from home, is not too bad. We then welcome Blackburn Rovers to St James's Park in a game that both my strikers managed to get on the score sheet. Pape Cisse early on in the 7th minute, Demba Ba in the 16th minute, and that was really the game almost over and done with at 2-0 after 16 minutes. We really just seen the game out, in which was quite closely even affair, but in terms of getting the goals early, that really sealed the deal for us, I think. We had just a little bit more possession, split down the middle almost on shots, but the on-target shots came better from us. And I would say the early goals really did kill Blackburn and helped us go on to win this game quite comfortably, 2-0. And the last game of this episode is a 3-0 defeat where we got absolutely dominated, only having one shot on target the whole match. This is the game that Johan Kabay just got injured in, which was sad. But in a 56,000 attendance at the Emirates Stadium, Park Chu-young, yes, you remember him? Not many do. He got a hat-trick against us, and there was not a lot we could do really, but dominated by Arsenal. But it was a game that we didn't really expect to win. So there you can see all our results in total this season so far. 10 games played in all competitions, 7 wins, 2 defeats to Manchester United and Arsenal. So not really anything that I didn't expect there. And a draw against Aston Villa. All 3 of those away from home, which keeps our home record pretty good and intact. So I'm relatively happy with the start of the season after 10 games in all competitions. So we'll just have a quick look at the Premier League before I wrap this episode up. So as you can see, most teams have either played 7 or 8 games. Our club has played 8 in total, 5 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats against Manchester United and Arsenal, 12 goals scored, 9 conceded, plus 3 goal difference, 16 points, 4 off top place Manchester City, but that will be them overtaken by Liverpool if Liverpool win their game in hand. We are only 3 points off, we're joint 4th with Tottenham Hotspur. We're 3 points ahead of 6th place Manchester United, level on games with them. That's pretty good, so I'm relatively happy with how it's going just now. The only real surprise in terms of the top 8 is West Brom ahead of Chelsea currently. Of course, Chelsea had a multi-million pound team back then, as they still do, but they were huge stars back then also. Bottom of the league sees Sunderland with 0 points, 8 defeats out of 8, 1 point for Stoke and 3 points for Norwich. Thanks for checking out the episode, guys, of the Football Manager Rewind to 2012, my most successful game ever in the whole entire Football Manager series. Hope you like the video, and this will keep me going till Thursday when the FM16 beta comes out. Thanks for checking it out, guys, and I'll see you again soon.